work. If they have a good start, then yes, they can definitely do it. But my favor goes out to Virtus.Pro at the moment.
Starting to understand why Curl felt like those best of ones is a good opportunity to pull out something funky here, and Huskar's gonna be that funky grab, and
we're gonna pull out something funky too.
I hope so.
Our commentators are gonna pull out something funky too.
Oh yeah, we got the dank duo over here. Our commentators, it's LD and OD. Gentlemen, have some fun.
Hi, we go indeed. Thanks very much, Dakota. I'm ready to go. Are you ready to go, David?
I was born ready.
Let's get
we got Lord Dank, Owen Dankies.
Oh,
it's going to be a good
L
game
Dankies as well. Brothers at heart.
Little Dankies.
Here we go, David. And we were hoping for some action, and of course, with that final pickup from Liquid, the Huskar, we're going to certainly get it on the Timberman.
Oh my God, what a Huskar game this is. They have like nothing to burst him down until they get really farmed on the Ember. But the gyrocopter could be scary. Curveball, Owen.
Curveball indeed. It could be a snowball from Mind Control as he goes up to the high ground. The supposed to get dispelled. Can he quite find it? No, Illidan's going to be fine. Keeps himself away.
Size.
There was potential for a lot of action there indeed. And I mean, this is the kind of play you want to be going for in a best of one. It's going to be chaotic. You don't really have time to sit around, play it safe. You've just got to defeat the other team into oblivion and not give them a chance to get themselves back on their feet. Because if that's something that VP's not too great at, that's going to be that. We saw them in the series against Secret. Secret got ahead in the early game. VP just played a little bit too passively, and they were unable to get back, which obviously is what led them to be in this lower bracket position. So I'm hoping we see a bit more of an aggressive play style from VP, because that is the kind of stuff that they're just absolutely bang on with.
It's really strange, right? Because they open the draft with the Ember Darkseer. These are two heroes that want to be extremely aggressive, but then they back off into Rubik Lich. Very passive supports to me. Rubik, not so much later on, but generally in the laning stage, unless he's got a very strong roaming partner, he's just going to be getting levels. So their laning stage will be very passive. In the mid game, they have the aggressive carries that can rotate, but Liquid are the stronger team at that point. So I think the way the draft ends with this Huskar pick, Liquid definitely the team that's going to be taking the fight to VP, and VP may actually have to play keep away, which is not really their style.
No, absolutely not. I mean, as you said, the fact that they have got the defensive capabilities means they're going to be able to deal with kind of the Spirit Breaker charging across the map initially. If they've got the Rubik TPs, the reactions from Lil, getting there with the telekinesis, there may be the opportunities to turn around Liquid's aggression if they go too aggressive, which is what I kind of like about the defensive supports here on VP. But at the same time, yeah, if Liquid are very careful about the fights that they choose to take and come out on top in the early game, it's going to be hard for VP to stick along for the late game.
So pretty much the expected lanes here. You're going to see the Ember Spirit Lich dual lane mid. Bristleback can be a tough matchup for melee heroes, but with the support of the Lich, he should be just fine, and Ember should get a lot of farm. Off-lane Darkseer, up against the Huskar, you will get zoned a bit, but tough to actually kill as long as Phobos plays it safely. You can hear that crackling fire as he's forced off. And then we'll see for VP, safe lane gyrocopter, but it's up against the big old bruiser, the cows in the lane. This is pretty terrifying, actually. Snowball with charge, dude, you're not running from these two.
No, at the same time though, VP, they can turn, if they dive too far, Liquid go underneath the tower. Lil can set up some with a telekinesis. If we're going to have the TP reactions coming in, we've already talked about the fact that the two cores can be aggressive early on. Even if it's a TP rotation from G in the mid lane to come up with a slight and a pair of steering chains, you do have the potential to turn if Liquid make any mistakes on the top.
Oh, they're going for it. RG on top, Snowball to follow up, Lil. Uh-oh, can he get it off? He tosses it back towards the tower. Mind control. Owen, he's low. They're turning.
The rocket barrage, they're trying to move in. They're going to have the second one up in a couple of seconds. Lil is trying to go in here on Mind Control. Illidan has got those brown boots, so he's closing in onto the Tusk. He's trying to stand near the creep wave so the rocket barrage won't do too much, and Illidan looks like they're going to let him go off here, and Mind Control's going to be able to get off the cell, so the creep wave enough to stop Illidan trying to go for it there with a level 1 barrage.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, Jerax creeping in on Phobos, but he has committed the Arctic Burn. So you can see level 1 Tusk Spirit Breaker, not all that scary, but you get level 2, you're going to have the point and bash, you have the Snowball and the Shards. And little old Rubik is going to be in a lot more danger.
Yeah, I mean, the Rubik as well, we've been talking about, is one of the heroes that VP are really good with. Both Lil and FNG know exactly what to do on this guy. So as long as they can get a decent level, timing on the level 6, I have a feeling this Rubik can be very effective across the map. They already talked about in the draft that there's a lot of very nice spells for Lil to get his hands on. Top lane are going to try and go in again. Telekinesis here with a rocket barrage. Illidan chasing down Kuroki, just trying to tank up most of the damage here. And this is kind of the problem, as you said at the beginning. These are a couple of bruisers. They're going to take, they've got a huge amount of HP. 750 on the Spirit Breaker, 625 on the Tusk. So Rocket Barrage at this point isn't going to do too much.
Yeah, that level 2 Rocket Barrage was a lot scarier, which he does have now. So they play it safe. At the same time, the Gyrocopter, he's farming well. The Ember Spirit also doing extremely well mid, as you'd expect with the Lich. So for me, the lanes are going extremely well for VP thus far. Huskar, the one hero that's farming reasonably well, but he doesn't have great base damage, and he has to fast it under the tower constantly because of the Darkseer. So you see Matumba Man, CS not that impressive considering that he's had some help early on. Phobos doing well in the off lane. So far the lanes are going great for VP. For Liquid, it's the mid game. It's when they get like the Huskar armlet, embraces leveled up a bit, maybe if the Winter's Curse, that's when Liquid want to fight, but the way these lanes are going, and it's going to delay the onslaught.
Yeah, and especially in the mid game where you look at Liquid's lineup and they've got the capability of keeping the Huskar alive. Even if it's just something on the lines of a defensive snowball, they've also obviously got Jerax here on the Wyvern. They're going to allow the Huskar to turn up the fights very early on and have a good chance of surviving through them, which maybe a bit of a different story here for VP. I mean, yeah, they've got the defensive capabilities in terms of turning things, but they can't really heal anyone up until they've got the Darkseer with that mechanism. And they're going to go for this here in the mid lane. I mean, FNG and G both fairly low. He has got 2 points in the Flame Guard in the chains if he wants to charge out.
Oh, Kuro, they saw him!
I think he's alright, and it's actually going to be bottom lane.
Phobos can solo kill bottom. We're off to a great start here, Owen.
Absolutely.
Oh dear.
I think
that's a hero that normally it's not an easy kill, but he just took too much fire spear damage. Ends up going down. Now the charge through the trees.
They didn't expect Kuroki. He was hiding there. Holds on to it. They're going to find FNG. G's going to be
crouching cow in the trees. You don't see that very often. Who knew cows could be so sneaky?
And I bet it was intended from Kuroki. He meant to cancel that charge early. Now hide in the trees. He was thinking about the long-term plan, and it certainly worked out there for Liquid.
Still G farming very well here, but with the kill
He needs
bottom...
to be careful. He's got 3 cool spray stacks on him. Yeah, low mana though. Bristleback's going to back off here.
Yeah, he'll get the heal up a bit from FNG, refilling the bottle. Now they're going to nuke. They may re-engage, but no flame guard. It's going to be a tough kill. Those quill stacks up to 2.
Oh, he might just go back in faster here. There's a lot of stacks, as you said, but G backs off.
Get off my back!
Yeah, they're going to be fine here, and Fata will be able to... Yep, he's got the 4-minute rune down on him as well, so a bit of fortune here for the Bristleback. He's going to be able to heal himself back up, but already in terms of CS, the fact that G, he's still being able to keep on top of the Bristol on farm, 24 for 9, and obviously largely down to the fact that he has had that backup from Lich in the mid lane for the most part.
I do like this very early point in Ice Armor from FNG. You see some players get the 2 points in sacrifice, but you're up against massive physical damage, especially from the Bristleback, and as you've seen, the Quills have already done a lot of work, so bit of an adjustment on the Lich. There's a hero that can have a slightly flexible build. Sometimes you'll even see players won't max the Frost Blast, and I think in this case it is the correct adjustment. So now G getting scouted out here by Mind Control.
Yeah, they have got Fata as well if they want to try and move in, but it looks like they're just playing it safe, just trying to fend G back, try and let Fata catch up in terms of CS. And bottom lane, I mean, obviously earlier Phobos giving up his life there to the solo Huskar. He's got to be a little bit more careful now, and he's level 4, so I'll be interested to see if we do see him back off to the jungle at this point, as there's also the Wyvern. Jerax is hanging around bottom as well, so it's not too much of a nice place for the Darkseer to find himself alone.
Darkseer dies bottom, obviously not desirable, it gives Huskar a very fast armlet, but he's still getting his levels. Ultimately, he's left to his own devices bottom. The key thing to start farming Ember and Gyro right now as they make the move on Fata, jumping in, but G will retreat, the chains are there, he keeps on diving.
Yeah, with this charge as well, Mind Control's coming in, he's got the snowball and the shards combination. I think G's in trouble, here's the TP reactions coming in. They're going to jump onto G, the flame guard's doing a lot, but it's not enough. Telekinesis there, and they might just be able to turn this one out.
Oh, Kuroki keeps on going, FNG now juking through the trees, but not enough, they lose the Bristleback on the way out. Kuroki wants to get the hell out of here, there are too many rockets, they lay into his rear, down he goes. It's a 2 for 1 exchange, they grab the Ember, but maybe Jerax, the trade gets up onto the high ground, they don't have a lift. He will make it out.
2 for 1 there for VP. Very nice TP reactions there from the side. And while we're seeing the power of the 75 cost TP scroll there, everyone just comes to the mid lane. We talked already about how both teams are going to be ready to fight. VP more so on the defensive, and they did everything they could there to turn that fight around and make sure they came out on top.
Wow. Tumba Man with a shiny new toy.
Oh, 6 minutes in.
He's got the dunk as well. Rubik, currently no mana, does have the mango. You cannot let him dunk you, or you're just flat out dead.
Yeah, especially with a fair few TPs being on cooldown for that last fight here for VP, and I'm going to see a charge onto FNG just from base at the moment. There are 3 heroes towards the mid lane on the Dire, so he'll probably not follow through here.
This is what they want to be doing at Liquid. Break down the laning stage. Gyro's level 6, but take these small fights where the TP rotation isn't going to get like that 4 or 5 hero cooldown. And speaking of Kuroki, this is a long journey.
He's really going for that, I was going to say. A little bit too deep here for Kuro.
There's not going to be much meat left on his bones at the rate he's charging. He's getting a workout this game. Double damage rune does spawn bottom now. We're going to see a Belt of Giant Strength coming out. Fauna completing the treads. But this is the stage of the game where Huskar starts sieging. You get the armlet, you can tank tower shots a lot easier, you have the extra regen, and you just keep on chipping away. So anyone tries to come bottom, they're gonna get dunked. Already level 3 Berserker's Blood. Once he hits level 9, that's generally where you see the max Berserker's Blood, and then Huskar becomes incredibly difficult to kill.
Of course, and there's always the potential for Liquid to try and go for Roshan with the armlet Huskar. The fact that they've got the Bristleback as well with the armor reduction, but it's never really going to be the fastest of ones, so it could be a bit of a risky play. And at this point of the game, I feel Liquid are going to be feeling very confident in the position they're in, and they're not needing to take those kind of risks at this point.
It's a tool in their war chest, basically, but not something they want to go for right now. They want to get the kills first, ideally take a tower, possibly buy a medallion on one of your supports, and then absolutely you can go into the Roche Pit. And at the very least for Huskar, you'll need the Mask of Death for the lifesteal. Or Morbid Mask, rather.
Yeah, and
this is the old cast.
I'd imagine that's what Wyvern is going for here. He is looking for that medallion there with the Sage Mask picked up. And yeah, they can definitely take it down, of course, a lot quicker than VP's lineup, really. I mean, Jara obviously eventually will get a helm. They'll be able to try and do it, but Liquid definitely have the potential to go for Roche a lot sooner than the Dire side, which is quite a key thing that I feel in drafts when you're on the Radiant side, because you know that a lot of teams, if they've favored and if they've chosen the Dire side, they're looking to use that advantage. And when you know that your draft's just stronger at taking the Roshan, you just got to go for it at the point of the game where you maybe about the 15-minute mark where Liquid will feel that they've got the safety to do it under VP's nose.
It's a very noticeable difference in drafting style as they throw out the Shard top lane, not going to go. A lot of teams will look to play much more of a pushing and aggressive style on Radiant and more of a defensive Roche-centric style on Dire. A little bit less so perhaps in the latest patch, but I know it's something a lot of the pro players have talked about. You just have to have a different approach because of the differences in sides. Less so than the old days with the old Roche Pit, but it is still definitely Dire favored there. Things are nice and slow here, Owen.
It is. It's calming down at the moment, 10 minutes in, which it's favouring both sides really, man, because the fact that this Huskar just hasn't felt the need to fight. Matumba Man staying on top of the net worth. They do have a Jara and an Ember on the other side, so there's always going to be that potential that if the game goes to a certain timing, VP will have the edge in terms of a lineup. But there's going to be that real peak at the later parts of the mid-game where Liquid, if they continue this flow, the Bristleback and the Huskar, they're just going to be running at the side of VP and there won't be a lot that they can do to turn it.
Yeah, VP definitely winning the farm war though now. They do not stack Ancients at all, something you see a lot with Bristleback, or at least you used to, often with an IO, but no stacking really. Liquid, they're just not as good of a flash farming lineup in general. They're decent if they're stacking Ancients, but mine is not. The only hero that really clears stacks quickly is the Wyvern, and Jarex is a paltry level 3. You compare this to like FY's Wyvern yesterday. At this point it was level 5, level 6. Oh, here they go.
Mid lane with the lead in, telekinesis, they've got the cooldown as well. All the damage down at the final. The Cave Frost, a little bit unnecessary, but they wanted that Bristleback dead. Obviously Fado at the moment are having a pretty good time in the mid lane in terms of keeping on level with the Farmer G.
I feel like Fado may have done something terrible to their family members, but somehow down!
Oh! That was not some Dr. Lee level armlet toggling. That was not ideal.
Very tough to toggle of my Max Rocket Barrage. But Jesus. Not worth. Gets the tower, giving a kill away. At this stage, Huskar is so tempo reliant that, yeah, maybe like you get the gold from the tower, but you lose some of your advantage on these heroes. And as Huskar, you want to be ahead so you can just dive them and tank and fight through just the endless swarms of defensive units. So definitely a mistake there. Phobos also getting close to a mech. Things are looking excellent here for VP. Do you see the gold and experience graphs really starting to tip their way?
Yeah, it certainly seems like VP are playing the best at this position. They've got a few heroes positioned up here on the top for Liquid, and TP coming in as well from Matumba Man.
Yeah, this is what you need to do with Huskar. You can't just sit back and farm your lane. There's better heroes for that. The playstyle has to be run at people, dive people, dunk them under their tower in front of their family and friends, and then call it a day. But tough to do when VP are just playing so defensively.
Yeah, and this, of course, this Dire Observer order, they're just stopping any chance of them being caught out by Matumba Man or Kuroki, as he was revealed by earlier on. So they're going to be fine up here in this top lane and keep themselves back and at least not go in until they're ready to jump in with the full TPs and maybe even try and find a kill onto the side.
They're really afraid of getting counter-gagged. It's something that I think you and I were talking about a little bit before the draft ended, is VP not the best initiating lineup, but if you dive them, that's where they excel. They get the back wall off, the call down comes through, Ember's a great counter-ganker. And the issue I see for Liquid right now is they don't have much lockdown to kill Ember, so he can pretty much run around the map doing whatever he wants. You charge him, if he sees you coming, he just chains you, he can even Sleight of Fist to dodge it. The Wyvern has no mobility right now, so Liquid not really able to gank the way that they would like to. It seems like they're just going to have to resort to brute forcing towers.
Yeah, mid lane at the moment as well. Phobos, he's not going to go for anything here, just himself and FNG. And it looks like top lane, they will allow Liquid to take the tier 1, but they'll just look at the trade. Illidan should be able to get the CS on that tower, and he will. Just a tower for tower.
And these are very VP favorite trades to me, because they're the lineup that at this stage of the game still needs a lot of items to fully come online. Yeah, Gyrocopter's a good team fighter, but your Ember doesn't have a whole lot. But they have the mech now, and if they're able to just turn this into a farm war and trades, that really favors them moving late, especially because Liquid has not been prioritizing stacking or any sort of economy. And the Wyvern, one of the most important teamfight heroes, is still only level 4, 13 minutes.
Yeah, the level 6 is going to be pretty huge as well, because in terms of lockdown, you know, heroes like G on the Ember Spirit, you're going to need it. You've got the charger at the moment, obviously, from the Spirit Breaker, but Bristleback, Huskar, they're not going to be able to lock him down and stop him from remnanting out. Other than that, you've obviously got the Snowball from Tusk, but Winter's Curse is going to be absolutely necessary for Liquid to take the fights and get the kills onto G.
Oh, there's no TP on G. They're painting it out now. They want to make a go mid. Let's get the tower.
Come on, VP. Come on, give us a fight. Lil's hanging around at the moment, just throwing out the Fade Bolts. Just going for the slow
siege. They can't even do that. There's Frost Armor.
Yeah.
He has no TP. They frantically pin out, like, we gotta punish this. They can't punish it.
14 minutes in, VP understandably playing it safe, as you said. They'll be happy with the tempo that this game's kind of fell to. And Matumba, his goal is to try and fight with this guy. He's starting to rack up the gold again. He's got 1300 now on top of the mask and the armlet. So maybe he'll feel more confident to try and go for some action here. G's just going to come down, spot out Mind Control. Oh, Mind Control stays around with a straight up punch of the Tusk Snowball, but after that there's going to be no more lockdown. The Chain Frog bouncing around here, only bounces the once, but Matumba getting the damage down onto Lil. And it looks like it will just be the Rubik dropping here. Nice cooldown from Illidan, but they don't have the follow-up. Is he going to go back in here?
Oh, he might die here. There's an armlet combo, but Matumba, man, very difficult to finish off. He fights, he toggles, he lives!
Oh, and now he's going for more jump straight forward onto Phobos. The charge put on the Snowball as well. He's got down. Now G's walking in.
Now G's trying to charge it on his own. Nope, see you later. This ain't my fight. Quick triple kill from Matumba, and it right into the Roche pit.
Absolutely, and this is what we're talking about. Liquid, they've got the potential to take the Roche. They take one good fight, they're going to go straight into the pit and take it down at a pretty decent rate. And VP were just all over the place there. Illidan came in with a cooldown from the back. Fair enough to get the slow, now get yourself out, but he just walked straight into it.
Speaking of walking straight into something, Kuroki in the middle of 3 heroes, completely chain stun. Slight will finish him off. For the greater good, I suppose.
Is he gonna go into it? Oh, no, he's not. A little bit too risky there.
I've seen so many Embers this tournament make that exact play, jump in, not get the Aegis, and just die, so probably for the best he did it.
Oh my goodness, that was, a little bit of a mess there from VP. Obviously, the consolation prize, the fact that they do get the kill onto the Spirit Breaker at the end.
It looked like Illidan was hoping for a vacuum to prevent the armlet toggle so that they could just finish the Huskar, but it's only a level 1 vacuum, so he wasn't even in range for it. Even if he gets it off, I'm not sure it's enough. This is not when VP should be fighting. They should be doing what they were doing earlier, which is take trades, avoid fights, split push, stack, abuse their advantage in terms of economy, and just delay. Once they get the big damage items on the Ember, then they can look to burst the Huskar. But this is when Huskar is all grown up. You know,
this is
he's ready to rock and roll.
16 minutes in, coming up. He's level 11. He's got the armlet, the lifesteal, and now the Sange. We've already talked about in the draft how VP's lineup isn't necessarily the best for dealing with a Huskar, and especially not a Huskar that's got this far ahead at this point.
The best way to deal with Huskar is ignore him. Run away. At least at this stage. And of course, it is a 5th pick Huskar. Worth mentioning, much like a Broodmother, this is one of those heroes you need to ambush your opponents with in a draft. You know, if they have a Queen of Pain, something like hell, even an Outhouse Destroyer, you know, one of those heroes that just has pure damage or heavy physical burst. Maybe not the best choice. Lina comes to mind as a more practical in the meta hero, but 5th picking it, I can't really catch you off guard. Illidan's getting charged, top lane though. He wants some helicopter.
They have got Mind Control around as well. He's got a PT. This would be incredibly nice. He's going to go straight for the Snowball in. There's a cooldown from Illidan, but I don't think he can turn this one around.
Oh, or can he? That's on the Kuroki trying to run. Phobos is here, and so too is G. Mind Control may be going up. It's going to be 2 for the other way. That's what VP want to be doing. Counter ganking, not forcing the issue. They got him.
Yeah, and they really got the back of Illidan there.
I don't really want this Aegis anyway.
Dancing around with death. But yeah, really nice
down.
turnaround from VP. And again, this is what we're saying. The reactions from VP are always going to be nice when Liquid overextend. And I mean, you can't blame Liquid though. There was no tier 1 on that top lane. They saw Illidan. They assumed that he'd be out far on his own. They have an Radiant Observer Ward in the lane. But in terms of coming around from the jungle, they didn't, they weren't expecting that from VP.
Yeah, Matumba man, boy. He is playing like a man right now, just walking or prancing around the enemy jungle, and again, just ignore him. What's he doing? He's not actually taking a tower right now. Yeah, he's farming, but you're getting farming here for him. Maybe if they have 5. Yeah. This might be a chance, but TPs are coming, Owen.
The stolen chance for Lil, beautifully setting this up, but maybe Matumbaman just turns onto Lil. Lil trying to keep out, not gonna make it. Matumbaman still alive, trying to go for more. Will he get the toggle off?
Finally, but it's only the Aegis VP. Stop trying to fight the Huskar. They just keep on doing it. They pay. They pay a lot.
The quill sprays, the quill sprays. He gets the gun. I think he goes for this partner. Is he going to go? No, he's going to turn. Phobos will get out as well, but again...
They're just playing in the Liquid's hands. Like, but Matumbaman doesn't need to be ganked there. He prompted 3 TPs straight into a push. That is not the game plan versus the Huskar, especially not when he has Aegis.
It's really not. This is getting harder and harder for the side of VP.
They're going to try to end the game, maybe. They're thinking about going down mid. Thinking about breaking base, they have the Halberd now. Huskar is ridiculously strong. VP are all about spread damage at this stage until Ember gets like 2 damage items, and now one of them has to be an MKB as well, so won't be able to go straight for the Daedalus quite probably. They just can't kill him. So I think if you're Liquid now, things are settling down a little bit. You get your next round of items, you wait for the Aegis. VP maybe try to contest you there, but if you get the Aegis successfully, you push down these 2 tier 2s, Owen, and then you look to break the base.
Yeah, indeed. Liquid are going to be very happy with that bit of play, and that, yeah, they're having the Halberd. You look at VP's lineup, physical DPS, the Jar and the Ember. If Matumbaman's able to get in and get that Halberd down, there's not going to be any sign of BKB coming out in either of these 2 cores anytime soon, so... I don't know, this Huskar, as you said, it really was the pick here for the side of Liquid, and this is exactly what you've got to be going for in best of ones, just these cheese heroes that the other team doesn't expect, and they were just not prepared for it at all in the draft.
You see that 5th pick Huskar, and your heart kind of sinks. I mean, we talked about it before the lanes even began, that this was an amazing Huskar game. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to win just because Huskar matches up well, because the hero has issues. He's not hugely mobile for the most part. He doesn't have lockdown. He doesn't really flash farm the way other carries do, so he has to find a lot of fights to be effective, but VP have given Liquid those fights. The fight bottom rune, an avoidable engagement that they chose to take. The fight we just saw mid, also completely avoidable and very ill-advised, so if VP are going to continue to play Liquid's game, they're going to end up in trouble. They're charging G. Fireman could be in trouble.
They have to lock down there, he's going to go straight out. Yeah, that's the one strength, of course, of Ember Spirit against their lineup. We're talking about Huskar's strength against VP's lineup. Ember Spirit, the pick is still very good against the heroes that Liquid have, and it really does rely on having Jerax around with that Wyvern so they can get the Winter's Curse down to lock him in place.
This is definitely one of those where Muhammad Ali float like a butterfly, sting like a
VP. Here we go, charge onto Illidan. They're going to have the snowball as well, and Illidan, he's going to use the backup. There's a TP coming in from Lich, but I don't know if he can save him. Pops down the Frost Armor, maybe with a Chain Frost they can turn down. Illidan's still alive, and he gets the cooldown off LD.
Oh, Kuroki, has he gone in too far? Dropping over the village again. There's the dog. MJ's in the house, he's nobody. Oh, the wall and the vacuum wants to fall, but the damage from Matumbaman's too much. He found himself a double quick Fury. Will kill Kuroki. She's on the chase, running after mind control, but nobody can kill this damn troll. He's got to jump away. Lil scrambling back. My friends are dead. What happened?
Oh my goodness. I mean, the vacuum wall was beautiful, but there just wasn't the follow-up, and Matumbaman is just spiraling out of control now. It's absolutely ridiculous, and
that's the beauty of Spearbreaker. Like, yeah, some of the other fights, VP, they could have just not taken them. This was one of those fights where you get dragged into it because there's a Spearbreaker in the game. So that one, a more understandable VP get caught there, but now, oh, and they're just getting to the point where these fights are even more impossible to take, despite Huskar not having Aegis, especially when he's not the one who gets jumped first. It's going to be a while before they can actually lock him down, and I mean, they may even have to rely on Rubik stealing a big spell, like potentially that Winter's Curse. That could be a fight changer, something that the analysts did talk about a bit. Yeah. And that you mentioned is there's a lot of good spells. Oh, bottom lane. Never mind.
Yeah, they had the Darbs ward out here, so they saw the movement coming in straight away from Liquid, So this is nice for I mean, he's playing it very safely. We're seeing him in the fights. He's not able to do a lot because he just hasn't got the damage, but he is closing in on that Battle Fury, and a good vacuum into a Battle Fury. That's a lot of physical damage, and it is something the Huskar's got to be a little bit worried about, but this Huskar's just so fat.
Here's the counter, and I'm going to put this in air quotes. They're getting the Silver Edge now in Illidan.
Ooh.
But the problem is, every time Huskar dunks, it makes him spell immune, so it purges it right off. And the dunk does not have a particularly long cooldown. Other issue is he still has the Halberd, so he's still going to be very difficult to burst, but maybe the Silver Edge can be the
silver lining. That's what you should have used there, Aldi. Yeah, could have been perfect. But yeah,
that's why I had you here, Owen.
I'm looking forward to seeing if that is the item.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, Owen, you know, he was carefully crafting all his clever one-liners.
I always do.
Before this broadcast.
You've got to prepare for
an
cast.
encyclopedia of dank memes.
Thanks, Aldi.
He wouldn't give me a copy, though. I was a little upset.
You've already got your own. There we go, Silver Edge, Gyrocopter. I mean, I don't think VP will now go looking for fights. I feel that they're going to be stronger just waiting for Liquid to come to them. High ground defense is pretty good from VP, you know, they could sit back. The Battle Fury is very nearly done here on G.
It's still going to be so hard to fight.
Yeah.
Like, even if you do get the Silver Edge off on the Huskar, there's also the Cold Embrace. And the magic damage is... Yeah, it's there from VP, so maybe if it's timed perfectly, I can see them killing him, but it's got to be perfect. Like, anything less than that, he gets healed up. They also have the snowball to save him, and then the fight just turns into a train wreck.
Yeah, and Kuroki as well. He may have died quite a bit, but he's always doing this. He's setting up the fights, allowing Liquid to go in, and with the charge onto Phobos, they're not going to follow it through here. He heads up. Don't have any vision here in the jungle, the Radiant, so a little bit scared of running into that point.
Alright, time for the next Roche. Almost. Hey guys, just Huskar here, don't mind me. Just farming right in front of your base.
His farm is
Pissing on their lawn,
ridiculous.
not a whole lot they can do about it.
I mean, we do have Phobos closing in on that Blink Dagger, I'd imagine, next here for him. So that's going to be something else that Liquid have to be scared of, because we have seen the combos come out from VP, but they've just not been enough. They've been getting lovely vacuum walls. The Chain Frost have been fairly good as well to follow up, but the physical DPS hasn't been there. Maybe with the Ember, with that Battle Fury though, having the Silver...
Oh, they found FNG! Just kidding.
Yeah,
Things calm down a bit.
They've got to play very, very carefully here. One more bad fight for them, and Liquid is just going to be able to start to storm the base. And
it is a tenuous lead, though. Liquid, as much as they're ahead right now, overextending at the VP, you can quickly get team wiped, especially if the Silver Edge is used at the perfect time. Even Huskar is vulnerable, so they still want to wait for the next Roshan. They'll probably look to take the tier 2 top with that, and then you, in a very organized fashion, siege the base. Put the Huskar in front. If they don't have a Solar Crest, may want to build one. At the very least, you do have the Glimmer Cape to help protect him even further if he starts taking too much damage. And you just leave him up in front, slowly chip away. Fonda gets the AC. They don't... if you full Divide, 5-man, diving their tier 4s, that's where Liquid can almost instantly throw the game. So they do have to be careful. If VP ever gets this to an even gold lead, and they manage to get like that first key damage item on the Ember, and after the Battle Fury, like an MKB, for example, and on the Gyro, then things can quickly fall apart.
Yeah, I mean, G is about 1k away from picking up a Crystallis, so even just having that crit on top of the Battle Fury, that could be the fight-changing item, and AC done, as you were saying, that's... Oh boy,
Extra
25 minutes in. I mean, we've been talking about Matumba Man's progress, but Farter as well, he's been farming like an absolute god here on the Bristle.
Trying to move in. Mind Control will be scouted out by VP. The Ward sees him. They're going to commit a call down for this. He only gets hit once, and now they look to engage, but he snowballs forward. He's going in.
Oh, Liquid turn this around. Liquid Kuroki charging on Dillaton. We'll pop the Silver Edge here. Mind Control's actually going to be the first to go down, maybe. He gets the mech off. The Chain Frost getting thrown back. G will get the kill.
Here's Huskar coming in, going to work with Tumble Man. Pretty healthy through this has the invasion. Lil's down. He wants more. On to FNG he goes.
Yes, Lil's coming back in it, but you don't want to man fight this Matumba Man. Huskar is going to turn and fight. This is not working out better than Suntec.
He laughs at VP. They roll him up. 3 down. It could be 4. Yeah, G's out of there again. He didn't save the Silver Edge for the Huskar, but even if you do, again, he can always just dunk it off. So they just can't really fight right now.
This is not ideal, and especially with this beautiful Roshan timing for Liquid. It's literally just come back up, and Liquid will now take this, and with the items like the AC, I would be surprised if we see Liquid go for a very aggressive push and put the Aegis under their belt.
This is the Aegis you want to close the game out with. I think they can still go later, but this is when you want to do it before that next damage item comes out. Eventually there will be an MKB on the field. Ember starts to hit pretty hard with single target DPS around that time. Ideally, you just go now. Maybe take the tier 2 top first, which does appear to be the call.
And Ping's coming out fast. He's going to find himself a haste rune. And Huskar, did he spend that money? He had a lot saved up here. What's he got?
Something coming on the courier. It is, oh dear.
Completed 26 minutes in. You are not killing this man. You really are not killing this man.
Matumba Man is God now.
Yeah.
Basically, bow down, pay your respects, and pray for mercy.
I mean, not to take anything away from the rest of Liquid, but this pick and this performance has been pretty much the major bit in them looking to win this game, because
Look at this! I mean, I said not to dive tier 4s, but honestly, now with the Satanic, maybe they can.
G just moving forward here, getting the slide out. They've got to
They
be very
don't care.
careful.
Siege the tower, keep your supports back. No need to get fancy. Matumba Man starts to drop low, but he has the Satanic if need be. He's gonna heal himself. LOL, just can't burn him now. Now he's under their tower, and he's healing up. He's giggling to himself. He'll bring it down, and he's looking for more.
Yeah, G's trying to fight around and get the slide back onto the supports behind him, but he just can't stop this man.
Even with the Frost Armor, he just keeps on going. This troll is relentless.
With the Aegis as well. Mind control, there's around, has the mech.
What do they do? Do you go in and die, or do you just let him pick the Rex and then he goes for the second?
They're going to try and go in, but there's the dunk as well to remove it, and straight up, they got the telekinesis response. It's a nice call out, but there's your Winter's Curse, Ellie.
Oh, the Chain Frost stomping through. For what good it'll do. They don't care. They took it off. They dive will. Bam, bam, thank you, ma'am, and more. Lich is down. G scatters. Kuroki is diving. They're going to go back for the Rex now. This is looking bleak.
Yeah, and G comes in, but the Matumba Man just dives forward. They'll be going to get out. They'll get the telekinesis onto Matumba Man.
If only that dragged you all the way to the fountain.
They just can't turn. He's going to have the Satanic back up in 10. Still got that Aegis.
Oh, and do you think this game ends with a Huskar Rampage in the enemy fountain?
I don't think we'll see a Rampage.
All right.
I think we'll just see a GG.
The people want a Rampage. Come on, Matumba Man. Don't disappoint your fans. G trying to cut off the backliners, but they can't ignore the Huskar if they kind of have to. G, he can't even finish off Bada. They move in for more. This could be too late.
This is going to be so disheartening here for VP. Just seeing this one hero just destroy everything that you went out
And with
set
it
out to do
crushing
this
their
game.
dreams, their hopes of advancement, Liquid are forcing VP to crumble.
BKP now on fire, so they've got a Blink Dagger on the Wyvern, so the Winter's Curses are going to be even better. Look at this difference he got. It's coming up to 20k. VP. I mean, it could be another Rapier game here for the Ember Spirit. We obviously saw it earlier. It didn't work out. Maybe this time it could, but he's got a long way to go.
Honestly, even if he has a Rapier, I still don't think they can kill Matumba Man. Give him a free Rapier, I still think Matumba Man does not die here.
Yeah, and I don't think Liquid are going to give them a chance to hold as well.
I don't think they're giving him a free Rapier either.
They're just going to start pushing around the bottom lane, get the creep wave in, and look to take that third set of racks as soon as possible.
This is a tough way to go out if VP do end up being eliminated like this. Not a good feeling. You know, 5th pick Huskar, no counters available at that point. You just gotta hope for big outplays, but it was Matumba Man getting them. Finding a solo kill on Darkseer early. Generally not a hero who dies to Huskar, though he struggles to lane against him, but you can always sit back with the iron. So that helped start the snowball, but even if there isn't a solo kill there, it's just such a good Huskar game from the draft that VP needed to win this through playstyle and just avoid fights.
Maybe just be careful, there's a Winter's Curse, and if Jarrett's can get it off now, okay, the Remnant out straight away.
That was a close call.
Yeah, needs to be very careful when he comes in close proximity. Maybe he didn't realize the Blink Dagger was on Wyvern.
He wants to cut the wave and stall because he knows Liquid are just trying to get the Megas now. Here they go. I'm back!
Oh, and we saw this on the top lane in the mid lane. He's just going to sit there, hit the tower, hit the racks, and what's the answer here from VP? They didn't have it the 2 times before. I don't know if they can have anything different this time.
Soulless lies in the GG perhaps. One last stand. Lil gonna get revealed now. Still Matumba Man keeps on going. Jump now or
Vacuum on to bring the slide comes through, but he just popped the BKB. Crimson Guard's now done as well. There's a curse onto Illidan. That's one down. They're gonna just look for more here, Liquid.
Oh well, Matumba Man held in position for the time being, but still alive. Just says screw it. Just forget about your team. I don't care if they all die. Gee, you can have them all, but I'm taking the racks. Keeps on going.
And the team, VP, they're just dying anyway. They don't need Matumba Man to fight you here, Liquid, and it's GG. Wow. Matumba Man, Huskar. VP didn't expect it, and I don't know. LD, that was just...
People will call it cheese, and of course it is a little bit in the sense that it's just one pick that cost them off guard, cost of the game, but it was a very well executed cheese, and they drafted intelligently. They didn't go for the Huskar early, they saved it for last pick. Perfectly played by Liquid.
Absolutely, and just looking at the scoreboard there, 11 for 1 on Huskar. The performance from Liquid as a whole was absolutely just outclassed the side of VP, and the draft was not there. And I guess for the side of Team Liquid, LD, you could say it was a pretty solid performance. Back to the panel.